Hey everybody, it's Christina of CraftyPaws. I am so excited because recently I passed 7,000 subscribers here on YouTube, and a dear friend of mine, Elliott, also passed 7,000 subscribers. So we thought it would be fun to do a collaboration, celebration, giveaway to thank all of our subscribers for your support and encouragement. So we decided we were going to do a Gorgeous Girl collaboration. That was the only parameter. All we had to do was use Gorgeous Girls. I pulled from my stash all of these Gorgeous Girl stamps. This one I believe I did stamp once. It's called Sweet Tea. This one, it's so cute. It's called The Little Friend. This one is called Perfect Love, and it has a little kitty in it and this heart. I actually eliminated those two aspects of it and just colored up the little girl. This one I always think of as Hippie Chick, but she's called Oops-a-Daisy. So cute. This one is called Little Fishes because there's little fishes down here in the pool that she's got her little feet in. And this one is called Spring at Last. A couple of them you can see here are marked in Euro because I bought them when I was on vacation last spring, almost summer. And these other ones I'd gotten even before that. And it's embarrassing that I have never inked them up. So here are all the girls colored up. I'm not going to spend this entire video sharing how I colored up each of these little girls. I am going to slide in a few pictures showing you kind of the stages of the coloring of this girl's hair, because I thought that was kind of a tricky thing to try and achieve. And I also have a slide of this little girl before I colored her hair and the water. And that's just because, you know, sometimes you stop after coloring for a little while if you like what's going on with your coloring and you're afraid of like the next step and ruining your image. So I wanted to just let you guys know that that happens, I think, to pretty much everyone. When I shared that on Instagram, everybody was like, oh yeah, that happens to me all the time. But what was really intimidating for me was this water. And what got me over that hump or that fear was watching a few of Sandy Allnock's videos. She is such a fantastic Copa colorer. And I watched some of her videos where she tackles water, and watching her do that gave me the kind of courage to approach this. So I ended up being able to finish this up, and I really like how that water looks like transparent. You can see her little feet and the fish swimming in there. And then the last one where I spent a little extra time was for this little Sweet Tea girl. I wanted to make the little teacup special, a little different. If you look at the stamp image actually itself, it has this little tag here, and I eliminated that. And I decided instead I was going to create some dimension, kind of like those fancy teacups that have, you know, the porcelain ones that have the sculpture kind of as part of the teacup. So I used a couple of diamond dies. I used the Nature's Flourish die as well as the flowers from the Cherry Blossom branch and flowers die set. And I made these little dimensional flowers and put those little flourish leaves on the background. And I really like how that one came out extra dimensional. And for all of these, I decided not to put them on cards, but I thought it would be fun if I could make them kind of sticky. That is, I put the fuzzy part of Velcro tape onto the backs of each of these so that they can be put on my new letterboard that's felted on the top. And look how well it sticks. I love that. So I'm going to share with you guys a bunch of quotes that I decided to use on my letterboard with these cutie patooties. Now, to enter the giveaway, it's really, really simple. What you have to do is be a subscriber to my channel as well as to Sarah Elliott's channel, and I'll put a link in the description box below to her collaboration video. Comment, leave a nice comment on both of our collaboration videos. Thumbs up the videos, and with that, you get an entry both into my giveaway and Sarah's giveaway. If you want extra entries, you can earn 2 extra entries, and all you have to do is actually share it once. Whether you share it on Instagram by posting on there about our collaboration giveaway with the hashtag SNK giveaway, or you can share with a video response on YouTube. Just make sure that you leave a comment on both my video and on Sarah's video letting us know that you shared and where you shared it. This giveaway is going to be open just for a week. It'll close on February 18th. And for my giveaway, I'm going to have a $30 gift certificate to Diamond Dyes, where I'm a guest designer, and those are the dyes that I use to create these little flowers on the teacup, as well as a second prize of a package of goodies that will include some stamps, some stickers, and I'll also throw in there a stamp chamois that I cut from my big absorber. If you haven't seen that, that's one of the tips and tricks of stamp cleaning that I posted about a week ago. So I thought I'd share with you guys a new color combination for me to create auburn hair. And I thought I would start with a kind of orangey red brown color. This is an E97, and I'm just putting in where I think the lightest areas are going to be on her hair. So I'm flicking into the area that I think will be the lightest highlights. Then I decide I'm going to go in with a YR07. This is very orange, much more orange than I was imagining when I picked up this marker. But once I started, I wasn't going to turn back. I just kept going, and I decided this would be kind of a mid-tone of her auburn hair, and I was going to be able to hopefully blend in with some darker browns to give it that rich auburn hair look. So I'm basically doing the same thing that I did with the E97, but I'm extending it out a little bit further into the highlighted areas. Now I'm going in with an E19, and this is very brown, and I wanted to make sure I hit all the areas that would be deepest shadow. So right by the brim of the teacup, around the bow in her hair, because there would be a cast shadow from where the bow was cinching her hair, and where the longer lines of the stamped image where the hair is, that's one of the good things about this kind of stamp. It has all those lines in it. So the illustrator is basically giving you points on where they think there would be more shadow. Now I'm going in and back in with a YR07 and extending out those orangey highlights so that it's not looking, brown and then white. I'm bridging that gap between the E97 and the E19 with that YR07. Now I'm going back in with the lightest, the E97, and going out even further so that it fully blends in where the highlights are. I'm trying as best I can to give it a light touch for this flicking, and I'm turning the paper around so that the flicking motion follows the curve of her hair. So, don't be afraid to move your paper around. And also you'll notice I have some scratch paper underneath, and that just helps if I'm saturating the paper a little bit too much. I think having a couple of pieces of paper underneath help, reduce the staining on my craft mat underneath. And now I'm going back in, reestablishing the darkest areas again with that E19. And then I decide I want it to look even richer. I want the hair to look deeper, so I'm going in with an even darker color, this E18. And you might think that 18 should be lighter than 19, but really, I don't know the number, the rationale for these numbering systems, but I do follow my color chart where I have all of the markers swatched out, and I know that that 18 is darker than the 19, and I wanted that deep, rich look. So now I am going on to her skin, and I decided I wanted to, again, experiment a little bit and play with a different color combination. So I'm starting with the lightest, that E000, and then going in a little bit darker with an E00, where I think on the edges of her face, underneath her bangs, on the lower parts of her fingers, those would all get a little bit of shadow. Now I'm going in with a YR00, and this is a color that I don't normally use, or I've never really used on skin, but I thought it would give a nice peachy tone to her skin. Now I'm gonna put in some blush. This R20 is my go-to for blush color, and I'm going in all the way to the edges of her face, and it looks a little cartoonish right now because the edges aren't blended in, but I want big, big red blush cheeks. And now I'm going to go back in with that lightest color and blend all along the edges of those blush areas, the R20 area. And I go from the outside into the blush area and then back out. And now I'm going in with an E00 and blending out together with that E000. So, and lastly, I'm going in with a YR00 again, just to reestablish those shadows, because the E000 and 00 have bleached out some of that pigment. I'm going back in, putting in the highlights at the tops of her hands where the light would hit, and I'm also reestablishing the R20 blush because, again, it got bleached out with the lighter E colors. Now I've die cut the Nature's Flourish die, and I'm cutting it down a little bit so that it will fit a little bit better on that teacup. So I'm just going to use a little bit of that swirl or flourish, and I'm just using some wet glue. This is the Art Glitter glue with a fine tip nozzle, my favorite wet glue, and I'm cutting off a little bit here and there just so that it looks like it's better situated on the teacup. If I wanted to be exact, I'd have to snip off that little end of the leaf, and this is not realistic. I just wanted to kind of get the sense of those fine porcelain teacups that have this kind of sculptural quality to them. And now I'm putting on those little cherry blossom flowers that I've already shaped off camera. I've put in the center of each one of these little flowers flat back pearl. They're the teeny tiniest flat back pearls from a package of Michael's flat back pearl stickers. And as you'll see, I'm just trying to figure out where the flowers will look good. And by the way, I actually ended up paper piecing the little girl and the little bunny in. So it was really much easier to paint the color the teacup so that it's all shadowed without worrying about having to keep the bunny and the little girl pristine. I'm adding one more little flower over here to the right. That's an even number of flowers, so I feel a little uncomfortable with that, so I'm going to add one more, I think, yeah, down there at the bottom, even though, again, this flower probably shouldn't be there because it shouldn't overlap the saucer, but I do like how that looks. And this is the rough Velcro. I put all those little circles for my sponges on Distress ink pads, and so I have all of these fuzzy sides left over in my stash, and rather than throw them out, I'm glad I kept them because now I can use them to back these cute little gorgeous girls so that I can use them essentially like little embellishments on my felted letterboard. So I've mocked up a few samples here. With sweet tea, I have the quote, "Tea is the elixir of life," which is by Lao Tzu. With little fishes, I have a little quote, "Happiness is bare feet in a pool of water." Notice I also use the heart and the little emoji face. With three of these girls, I combined them with a quote by Felix Mendelssohn that says, "The essence of the beautiful is unity in variety." I love that. And lastly, Spring at Last is with a quote from Eleanor Roosevelt, which says, "The future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams." Anyway, that's it. I hope you guys enjoy this collaboration video and play along. Thanks again so much for being a subscriber. I really appreciate all the encouragement and support. Thanks for watching.